what can I say, you guys? The world is very clearly changing, and it is changing fast. Okay? 2 years ago, the mere idea that you might share a perspective that Jews are controlling the media, that would be considered anti-Semitic. You would be called a Jew hater. Fast forward to 2025, and Bibi Netanyahu is now hosting an on-camera meeting with American social media influencers to talk about how they are going to shape U.S. opinion. I honestly, with my eyes, I was going, this can't be real. Like, they're not even hiding it anymore, right? It's like, first it was a conspiracy theory. Now it's like, here's what we're going to do. Okay. And what are we going to do? How are we going to beat out all of these independent voices who are winning because they're telling the truth? So Deborah Lee asked Bibi Netanyahu specifically about Charlie Kirk's assassination and the potential loss of evangelical support for the state of Israel because of it, which, by the way, is going to be the consequence of this. It will be the consequence of this because they lied after he died, and it pissed me off, okay? Take a listen to what Deborah asks.
So something I would like to raise, which was actually my first published paper, was how you and the Likud party are cut from the same ideological cloth as Trump and the GOP in America. And so specifically with Charlie Kirk's assassination, who was a big mentor of mine, she's my first mentor in this space, evangelicals, from all my research, evangelicals are the reason that Israel has been supported in public sphere outside of just Jews. So with Charlie's assassination and with the kind of trajectory that we see with like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, I guess I'm curious about what's another game plan if we lose evangelical support for the state of Israel. What's our backup plan to be strong, like outside the diaspora?
Okay. First off, I don't know why it's always me and Tucker Carlson. Why? Why is it always Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens? Like, can it be anybody else? It's all like, what? We have nothing to do with one another. I've been on his show twice on his independent show. I just love Tucker. I do. I'm a fan. I'm not going to lie. But I feel like they're starting to think we're the same person. Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens over and over again. But listen to Bibi's response, because prepare yourself. What he is saying is that they are about to launch a psychological war on Americans. Take a listen to what he says.
Christian influencers, okay? You said, we talked about the woke right. And you said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation. The woke Reich, because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane, they're loonies. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community, they're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well. Okay? And you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is class.
Followers.
TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. Exactly. Very good. And, you know, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight, okay? To give direction to the Jewish people, and give direction to our non-Jewish friends, or those who could be our Jewish our friends. Are we going to succeed with everyone? No. Will there be a strong counterpart? Yes.
Okay, so like we're allowed to say Israel controls the media now. Okay, I think that's just like on camera now. There will be no dispute. about this. The fact that you have a foreign leader, it's incredible. You have a foreign leader who is sitting up there saying that he wants his agents, he needs the deal to go through, which, by the way, let's call out Donald Trump right now. Okay, all of the acting. We don't want China. We don't want China to own TikTok, and I'm worried about your data. No, you wanted to hand it over to your Zionist friends. Okay, it was all a mirage. Okay, it was all theater. Donald Trump has sold us out to Israel once again. Okay, so he's saying, I want this deal to go through. And we know who's a part of that deal. It's Larry Ellison, who he's very clear about the fact that he's an agent of Israel. Andreessen Horowitz, the son of David Horowitz, from which all of the connections, PragerU, I could tell you the stories, PragerU, David Horowitz Foundation, and Ben Shapiro, all of them related in their beginnings in Los Angeles. So he's basically saying, we need to take over TikTok because what are they going to do? What they've already done? They're going to censor speech. The reason that they got on board, just like the ADL spokesperson said when he was caught on the mic, was like, we need to do something about TikTok. And now they're doing the thing, right? They are going to take over TikTok and they're going to ban your speech. It's happening right now. The second that CEO who said she was a proud Zionist, or maybe she wasn't the CEO, but one of the executives there that they installed immediately after, she said she was a proud Zionist and spent time in Israel. We saw instantly that our content was getting strikes. You can't say anything bad right now about Israel on TikTok. And this is because it's what Bibi Netanyahu has willed, right? They want to censor speech, which was something that Charlie was very worried about. He was very worried about what Israel was doing to come inward on speech. And I have those text messages with him. And so that's actually happening. We are going to be, we're going to become subject to a psychological operation. This is what they do. You can see it on X. There's all of these, like, I call them military bots, and they're just like sock puppets who just say wonderful things about Israel all the time. You can see them in my comments. They just like post the Israel flag over and over and over again. And that's what they want to subject Americans to. And they think that is going to, in the long run, bring people over to their side. It's the exact opposite, obviously. Okay. It's so dumb to think. It's like, have you even gone through basic parenting 101? You're going to tell these people that they are going to be forced to like and support your country. They're most certainly not going to. And instead, they're going to see you as what you are, which is problematic. You have no business as a foreign leader speaking publicly about how you're planning to take over social media sites in America, because opinion against your country has rightfully shifted. Okay? Because opinion has rightfully shifted against your country on the basis of your behavior, right? Like Charlie said, on the basis of your behavior. Okay, you fall into every stereotype. The stereotypes wouldn't exist if you didn't behave this way. That's the reality. You're on camera. You have zero shame in saying this. You could have said anything there, right? Like a person would say, "Wow, we want to get out the truth. We want to be better people. We want to commit ourselves to not killing hundreds of thousands of children." That, and I think that people will start to like us again. He's like, "No, we just need to crush them. We need to crush speech by controlling speech in America." And that's what their plan is. Look no further than this random attack that Megyn Kelly is going through, okay, for no reason at all. And I hate to say this, but I was laughing reading Konstantin Kissin's tweets and what they were saying to her, because I lived it. I lived what Megyn Kelly's going through. I lived what Charlie was going through, where suddenly you realize these people that are pretending to be your friends, they're like, "I'm your friend, I care about you," are actually like agents. And that's why I say they're Mr. Smith from The Matrix, and they're real close to ruining your life if you don't do what they want, okay? So for no reason at all, I'll tell you how this transpired. Megyn Kelly tweeted her episode and said, listen to Charlie in his own words about what he was going through. And for whatever reason, Florida Dad, which is one of these like Zio bot accounts that constantly tweets in favor of Israel, wrote this to Megyn. We can pull this up. He writes, "If you can't separate yourself from Candace Owens, many of us are going to separate ourselves from you." Like, she didn't mention anything about me. He says, "We do not have to align with everyone that claims to be of the right when their motives and history are as shady as hers." Megyn Kelly and I have no attachment. So the idea that he's demanding that she make a statement against me is insane. She replies, she holds the line. She says, "Look at this. No, I have no obligation to, quote unquote, separate myself from anyone. I run my own media company and my own show. That show is where I express my own opinions, and I will decide what and what not to opine on. If you need me to condemn Candace or Tucker for their opinions in order to listen to me, then I may not be for you." He's a close friend, and she is under enough pressure without gratuitous shots from me. My fight is with the left, not these two. Like, kudos to Megyn Kelly. Like, what? And yes, she is friends with Tucker. They've been friends for a very long time. And yeah, I'm kind of taking a lot of bullets right now. So I thank you, Megyn, for not just taking a gratuitous swipe because I'm breathing over here. But it's not enough. So then they bring the other agent, Constance Kissen, which, by the way, there's going to be a day where I just release everybody's family genealogy. His is astonishing. But these are all agents of Israel. Let's be very clear. Constance Kissen then jumps in and says, here's the problem. He's a free speech warrior, Constance Kissen. The problem with this approach, which many on the right are taking, is that this is exactly how the left allowed in its own extremists, or extremists, to first flourish and then to become the face of the entire movement. If you agree with Candace and Tucker, people will respect that. But to many of us, their behavior is so extreme and so deranged that the idea that it can be simply ignored because your fight is quote unquote with the left doesn't wash. You have always been a great, principled, truth-seeking journalist. So to many of your admirers like me, the question might be, if you agree with them, fine. But if you don't, why isn't your fight with them? This is almost verbatim. It's like scary to me because I'm like, this is like military training. Almost verbatim, a text message that I received from Marissa Streit when I like retweeted Max Blumenthal, I think once, when he said something that I totally agreed with. And then like all of the agents, like Dave Rubin, all of them are like, don't you see what you did? And they make you think you're going crazy, but they kind of pretend to be your friend. And you're like, what did I do wrong? Like I just said, genocide is always wrong. I just retweeted Max Blumenthal, something he said that was sensible. And they come in and they're like, I understand what you're doing. I'm your friend. But I worry that other people are going to see what you're doing and not understand. And it just, I want you to be okay because we're just wondering, like, we all agree that that's bad, right? So why don't you just say what I'm telling you to say, Meg, or you're going to get it. We're going to ruin your effing life. That's the subtext, Meg. That is the subtext, Megyn. I can promise you that. I lived it. There's no halfway with these people. I'm telling you, there's no halfway. She didn't do anything. She shared her episode and said, if you want to hear Charlie Kirk in his own words, here it is. That is literally what they are responding to. And now they're going to pretend to be her friend. So she responds to him and she says, the more one insists that I say what one demands me to, the more committed I get in my refusal. This was Charlie. He was like, I'm done. I'm just done. I'm digging my heels in because they know what this is. Okay, Megyn is an adult. She's also quite brilliant. She's not going to fall for this, should I call it babble, right? Constance Kissen. And you're sitting here trying to, I love you so much. She's like trying to manipulate a toddler. She's not stupid. And he says, I demand nothing of you. And I'm coming from a position of great respect. I'm simply asking why it is that you don't believe that lies told by prominent people on the right shouldn't be challenged in the way that we all challenge lies told by people on the left. And she said, your response proves the opposite of what it purports to. She sees right through him. Of course she does, because she's not a child, okay? This is how the agents work. They pretend to be your friend. And I'm telling you, if she doesn't buck, because that's what they want, we will whip you and you will buck. And you will buck by making a strong statement against Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, when we demand it. Then they will send the next layer, which is a full-blown press attack. The press that they do not control, by the way. They do not control the press. That's anti-Semitic. I want to be very clear. They don't control it, but they will control it when they come after her if she doesn't do what they say. Watch that space, you guys. Watch that space.